Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are well and subscribed. I know it's been a minute, right? But we'll get into that as to why. But to all the newbies, welcome. And to all my OGs, welcome back. As you guys can see by the title of today's video, the focus is going to be mainly on the matrics, okay? Because the first years, right? You guys are no longer babies. You're stepping into the real world, the jungle. But fear not, because I will be giving you guys all the tips that worked for me when I was in first year as a newly post-grad student. No, newly graduate and post-grad student. Let's get that right. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna be giving you guys tips that work for me and things that I wish I would have known. You know, I wish that somebody would have came up to me and said, hey, don't do this, do that, blah 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 blah. And these are the type of videos that actually worked for me when I was in first year, when I had first year anxiety. Yes, I was very excited, but obviously there are certain things that you want to hear from people who were in your position once upon a time, and that's what I'm going to do today. So first things first, after accepting your offer, if you are on campus res, then perfect, accept that offer as well. Don't think just because you were offered something you don't have to accept it. You have to accept. And then yes, so let's get into accommodation, right? Personally for me, I think it is very beneficial for first year students to live in a res, whether on campus or off campus. First year I was off campus and it really helps. You know, it's nice here. Let's say you want to get your apartment, cool, you can get it, but reses are built for students. You know, apart from the fact that you see students here and there, the facilities are catered for students, the events are catered for students, and as a first year student you're gonna benefit a lot from staying at a res. You can be at an apartment where it's mostly students, but still it's not built for students. The vibe that you get from a res will really help you transition perfectly into varsity life. As a loner, I was a loner, but it still sort of helped to be at res in first year, right? Secondly, please attend a week. That's where you meet a lot of people. We're all anxious there, you know, so you're gonna meet a lot of people. You might remain friends, you might not remain friends, but you are gonna have friends during the week, during the 1 week or 2 week period. With Wits, it was 2 weeks, and I did meet a couple of people there that I still talk to till today. Love them. Yeah, and also most importantly, all week helps with, you know, familiarizing yourself with the campus, so that when classes start and they say the classes at Robert Subukwe 138, you're not now confused, having to get there an hour before class starts, trying to figure out where that is. With all week you literally tour campus, so you will have an idea of, okay, this is where this is where that is, that's where Solomon Matlangu building is, this is where the CLM building is, blah 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 blah. It really helps a lot with that. And also just like go socialize, man, which leads me to my next point. Go to freshers, guys. I didn't go to the freshers party, but I went to the beer garden. So beer garden is like an event the day before freshers. It's just like a mini freshers. I went to that when I wanted to buy tickets for freshers. They were sold out, but please go to freshers. It is important. That's probably your last opportunity to unwind fully without any academic stress, because once school starts, I think while we're on that like freshers topic, we can also speak about socializing in general. Please don't make school your whole life. Don't be like me. I think second year, towards the end of first year and second year, I was like, just me and my books, babe. It's just me and my books. It did work out in the end, but for your mental health as well, it's refreshing to go out once in a while, do something different that's got nothing to do with school. Because when you go back after that reset, you are literally ready to lock in and you have a lot of energy, your mind is cleared, and you become more productive. Join your clubs and societies. But also, if you're not self-funded, if you're NSF funded or you on a bursary or something, make sure that you don't go overboard, because I've heard that, you know, they don't cover the societies, and societies have registration fees, obviously, right? Some are like 150, some are like 200, and blah blah blah. So be aware of that. But it also helps to join these societies, go meet new people, not just people who are studying the same thing as you, just like meeting different people. Right, it helps with that. Sorry, I got distracted. It helps with that. So join societies that are either linked to your degree or something different. Really is up to you. In first year, the world is literally your oyster. How you start sets the tone to the rest of your year, or maybe even your school career. But also don't let that force you into thinking that if it starts bad you can't change it. You can. It's just smoother if you start like this. And also please don't be afraid to go to events. Just make sure maybe you have somebody to go with you, depending on what type of event it is. Like if it's like a party, have somebody to go with you. But universities have a lot of events. Some are like sit down events. We have comedy nights, movie nights, this and that. You know, you can go to those alone. If social anxiety is scared of you, you can go to those alone. It's a perfect way to meet people, because you're not going to meet people sitting in your room stuck to your books. After your books you're watching Netflix, after Netflix you're sleeping, and that's your life 24/7. You're not going to meet people like that. Guys, attend your classes, especially in like the first few months. I'm not saying bank classes, right? I'm a person who self-studies. I was homeschooled in high school, so I had to learn the art of self-studying at that age, so it carried on into varsity. So I don't really have to attend my lectures unless it's something that I'm really struggling with and I feel like, okay, I need to attend this. So make sure that you attend your lectures. You know what type of person you are. You know, you need to be honest with yourself. You know, just because I don't attend most of my lectures doesn't mean you shouldn't. You should know yourself. Like, will you be able to learn this by yourself and actually pass this module, pass this year and whatnot? If you can't, then go attend your lectures. It's also very beneficial to attend lectures. What do you teach yourself? Sometimes they even make examples, or they give hints to like upcoming assignments and tests that could really help you. So do attend your lectures as much as you can. I can't say attend every lecture. That's very unrealistic. Life is unpredictable. Life is really unpredictable. Someday you wake up, you're very sick, you don't go, right? And that just links to something that I wanted to speak about. I actually forgot about it. In varsity, you don't have a babysitter. Your mom's not going to call you and say, go to class, go do this. Also, she can call you and you can go back to sleep. Your lecturers aren't going to let your parents know that you're not attending classes. If you have an 8 a.m. and you feel tired and you sleep, you're going to go sleep. You can wake up at 1 p.m. Nobody's going to call you and say, why aren't you in class? You're not going to wake up to an email saying, why aren't you in class? You literally are an adult right now. You decide what goes. If you don't submit your assignment, you don't submit it, you lose the marks. Nobody's going to babysit you. So please make sure that you manage your time wisely. If you miss a class, make sure you don't spend that whole day doing nothing. Try to catch up on whatever work, like familiarize yourself with whatever work they were doing in that class. Obviously, maybe if you're sick, that's something different. Like if it's something that's literally hindering you from doing any work, that's different. But always make sure that you catch up. Do not stay behind. Because one thing about me, I know that I work well under pressure and I always get it done, but it's not a nice feeling. Like those few weeks before like exams, where you're like, or even the week before, we have so much work to cover, even though you know that you're gonna get it done, the anxiety, like it's just not a nice feeling. So try to stay up to date. In events where I did stay up to date, it was so refreshing to like not stress the day before the exam or even a week before. Like you're just revising, you're not learning anything new. Please make sure that you try to stay up to date. Another thing that I want to touch on is the difference between lectures and tutorials. Lectures are the classes, right? They're on your timetable, and then tutorials are like, they're literally where the magic happens, right? This is where you get to, this is like a smaller group. For that module, there's probably like 20 of you guys at most in that group, and you have a tutor who is somebody like a student probably who did that module before, and you get to literally ask all the questions. You do practice papers, practice questions, whatever. You don't take tutorials for granted. For me, tutorials are more beneficial than lectures. I don't miss most of my tutorials because, yeah, don't miss your tutorials. And don't be scared to engage your tutors. That's literally what they're there for. In fact, they really feel offended when you don't engage them. You need to take advantage of your tutors. Another thing, please have effective study methods. Study smart, not hard. I have a video up on that in first year, but I think I will update it because I learned a few things here and there. I don't want to include them here. It's going to make this video unnecessarily long. So probably in the next month or two, or just before test week, I will upload a video on that. And secondly, consultations. Go for consultations with your lecturers. So consultations are where, like, if you have a question, if you want to know 1, 2, 1, 2, if you did really bad on the test and you want to ask your lecturer, okay, I see this mark, but please tell me, how can I improve this? I had my first consultation. I thought it was too cool. I had it last year for DLECT. I wrote my first DLECT quiz. I wrote my first DLECT test, and the mark was shocking. So for the first time in my life, I went to go consult with the lecturer and I gave him my paper. I was like, sir, please let me know, how can I get a 90 in my next paper? Look. Then he just gave me a detailed review. So they'll tell you, okay, this is why we marked you down and this is why you didn't mark for that. So you could have done this, you could have done that. They're very helpful. Take advantage of that. Going forward, I'm going to consult with every lecturer. Okay, you can also consult just before the test. It doesn't have to be after the test, but take advantage of those tutorials, those consultations. With regards to the studying, right, please, I'm going to touch on this just a bit. Please try to form a little group with people who are studying the same thing as you. You guys can exchange notes, because one thing I can tell you for sure is that a degree is group work. I'm not saying write tests together, but exchange knowledge, exchange notes, exchange this and that. When you get your marks back, ask your friend who's not shy, do you mind telling me how much you got? Or if you don't ask like that, say if you got, let's say 3 out of 10 for question 3, you ask them, what did you get for question 3? I got this much. If they got 9 out of 10, you can ask them, can you please show me your answer so I can work on it? You might also have gotten 9 out of 10 for one question and they got 1 out of 10. It's very helpful. Don't be shy in varsity. Please don't be shy. Okay, and then we want to talk about budgeting. Guys, be smart with your finances. Don't be like me. Please be very smart with your finances. First of all, when it comes to textbooks, this is very important. When it comes to textbooks, there are usually there's always somebody selling a second-hand textbook. Within the first week of school, you will find somebody, a lot of people selling so many textbooks that you need second-hand for possibly half the price or even less, right? If you're in a position to get an iPad, I got an iPad in second year because I was like, let me just get this iPad and get all my textbooks on the iPad, and it really works. If you can do that, do that. But also you have a laptop, so if you're not one person who's I need a physical book, because I was like that in first year, that's why I got my textbooks. If you don't feel like that, you can also get the textbook on your laptop. So career fairs are the perfect way to engage with your future employees. You ask them, okay, I've been to your website, right? But it only says you need to have a 70% average, but what else are you looking for? What is a well-rounded person in your guys' perspective? When should I start applying? How can I stand out? Things like that. And also you get freebies, a lot of stationery. So don't go too wild with the stationery right now, because, or maybe I'm just an ancestor. So just network a lot. Try to find a mentor. That's something I wish I had. We had mentors in first year, but he was studying something different, which to me doesn't make sense, because how am I a law student and you're, giving me a mentor who's, I think he was studying education. Very nice guy though. But it really does help to have a senior student, one who's studying the same thing as you, to help you out. They can also give you notes and give you past papers, because I don't know about other institutions, but the Wits library has past papers from 20 years ago even. The most recent ones, nothing. Also, on the fun side, guys, be spontaneous. Explore your city. Obviously remain safe. Explore your city, have fun, decorate your room. I cannot emphasize this enough. Decorate it. Your room is where you're going to be spending most of your time. You're no longer living at home right now. I don't care how far home is, even if it's 30 minutes away, but you're at res most of the time. If it means taking stuff from your room at home, some things, do that, because it's very important to be in a room that when you wake up you feel like taking on the world. If your favorite color is pink, go all out with the pink. If you want this, if you want to put up posters, do that, because you also become more productive and you enjoy being in that space. Otherwise you're literally calling onto depression. Next point, please take care of your mental health. Don't overcommit yourself. Don't wait. Like, also, not being able to manage your time effectively leads to mental health problems, like waiting last minute to start assignments, being like weeks behind on your work because you start panicking. You know you have this test, but you're like a month or two behind, and you know that you probably won't get this work done. And yeah, just always have a planner. I have a daily planner, right? I do it before I sleep. Before I sleep, after wrapping up my work for the day, I write, okay, tomorrow I need to do 1 2 1 2. Write it down, put it up on my wall. When I go to sleep, I already know how much work I need to put in tomorrow. When I wake up, I know, okay, I need to do this. There's this quote that I love so much that says, failing to plan is planning to fail. I am a planner. I might be a bit overboard, but I love planning so much. You can't just wing life, especially university life. Get those cute planners from Typo. Do whatever. Go all out. Romanticize your school career. That's the only way that I got through it. I got my pink planners, my pink notes, my pink totes. You know, things like that. Anything from your notebooks, make them pretty. If it means you want to cover them, cover them. If you want to do that, nobody cares in varsity. Like, if you have covered books, literally nobody cares in varsity. We're all minding our own things. We're all, you know, stressing about our own things. And also, in terms of like romanticizing your studying, please just try different study spots, right? I love the library. Now recently I've tried med school. I love med school. It's so pretty, because also studying in one place all the time can be draining. It can also be unproductive at some stage. Try the libraries. The libraries are free of charge on campus. Try different study spots, maybe cafes if you have an assignment to type, because I know I can't study at a cafe. I get distracted easily. But when you have an assignment to type, when you have something maybe to read, literally, it doesn't even have to be something expensive. Even at your res, maybe there's like a study room that you're always in. Try studying outside. Try doing, just romanticize. It's literally the little things that make a huge change. And speaking of libraries, because I know it's all over the place, but these are all the tips you need. When it's time to print, go to the libraries. I print at the library. If you're a subby, you know I'm always printing at the library. It's very, very cheap, other than going to Postnet or the other printing shops on campus. Go there, load your student card with credits, and then go print at the library. It's very, very cheap. You will be shocked at how cheap it is to print at the library. People, I'm not saying do this, because I've never done it. As a law student, I know it's wrong, but people, this is just to show you how cheap it is. People print textbooks at the library. You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to. But I'm just giving you an idea on how cheap it is. Something that I can't not mention. Varsity Vibe. Do you know Varsity Vibe? This is not sponsored or anything. Varsity Vibe is an app for students that gives you discounts from like 10% from Board, Typo, Cotton On, H&M, a lot of these stores, hey? Stationery, some stationery stores, and I think flight tickets, a lot. Just download Varsity Vibe. And also with Vida Cafe, we have Vida on campus where you buy coffee and stuff. We also have a discount for that, so it really does come in handy. Download the app and literally scan it when you go buy things. You'll get 10% off. Discount as well. That's why I'm always at discount. You get 10% off from discount. It might not sound like a lot, but it really does add up, and it's very convenient. Also, if you're buying a lot of things, it really does help. I really need to emphasize this. It is very important to celebrate every win in varsity, because it can be really daunting, right? There can be some lows, a lot of them. So every win matters, and it starts with celebrating your first pass, right? And it might not sound like a big deal, because I mean, I got 6 A's in high school. What's a little pass in varsity? Just celebrate the little things. It helps a lot, especially going forward. And also, don't let imposter syndrome go in. You're where you need to be. You made it, and it's because of your hard work. On the last 3 points, please just find a hobby, something that could get your mind out of school, whether it's playing netball, like playing a sport, whether professionally or you know, just there casually, you know. There's also maybe going to the gym, joining gym classes, things like that. Just find your own little hobby. If it's reading, yeah, but also try doing it outside so you can see the light. Ooh, what is that? Excuse me. This is the second last one. To those of you guys who are gonna have roommates, please remember that you're not at home. If you have bad habits that you did at home, that your parents, whoever you lived with, condoned, please remember you're living with other people's kids. They're just like you, leaving home. They don't need to look after you. They don't need to run after you to say, clean up after yourself, do this, do that. Also, if you have a roommate like that, at the end of the day, you guys are there, you're paying the same price, you're there for the same reason. Speak to them properly and tell them you don't like this 1 2 1 2. I also know it can be daunting because like I'm not your mom, why am I supposed to be telling you this? But you can also go tell raise management, but I would advise you do that maybe after speaking to them, and then there's no change, then you can go speak to raise management, because raise managers and the raise assistants are there to assist with such matters. It's even in your contract. Yeah, also get flip-flops for the shower if you're sharing a roommate. If you're sharing a shower with other people, you don't know what could happen, and I don't think you want to know. Last but not least, please go easy on yourself. It's your first time here. Don't think just because you didn't get a 90 on your first test, you're a failure. If you fail your first test, it's fine. These things happen. You just have to move on to the next one, find out where you went wrong, and then try to fix it. Also, if you don't fit in like socially and you just feel like you're out of place, please go easy on yourself. It's your first time here, you're new, this is a whole new world for you. You went from living at home, being in high school, being babied, to actually being an adult. It happens, it takes time. It took time for me to adjust, like socially, and look at me now. Another thing that I forgot to speak on is your mental health. I did speak on, you know, type of things that contribute to it. Maybe moving to a new city alone can also contribute to that. Also, please take note of the fact that I'm pretty sure all universities have centers for where they have like student psychologists, like interns, to offer counseling and to just guide you through that. And I remember in first day we had groups where they would host like group counseling sessions. I don't know if I can call them that, for people who are struggling to actually transition from high school to varsity life. And it was just a lot of people who were going through the same thing, and you might find your tribe there. I think we've reached the end of this video. Please, time management, prioritize your health, socialize, right? Go out there and have fun. Take it easy on yourself. Oh, don't forget why you're there. Don't forget why you're there. Like, don't just now get lost in the fun, because you're gonna cry. You're gonna end up crying. And take it easy on yourself. There's always people willing to listen. You can find something. I'm always willing to listen. My Instagram DMs are filled with people trying to navigate high school and varsity life, and I'm always there to listen. If you have any video suggestions, please don't hesitate to DM or email me like you guys always do for whatever reason, but I don't mind. But I think for today that's it. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.